Hello and welcome to my first historical battle with joystick. Um, I'll try to make a long story short. A couple of years ago, I got little puppy, a very nice, beautiful little puppy, which now is a fully grown up dog. And while he was small and he was growing his teeth, he was so amazing and great guy to decide he wanted to give his new teeth a go against my TrackIR cord, and he basically chopped it off into pieces. So that was 2 years ago, and until now I have been without TrackIR. But today I decided to try to be a little bit creative and actually managed to put together the two chopped parts. So I have now a working TrackIR. So with that in mind, and keeping in mind that my biggest issue to fly with joystick was that I couldn't handle views in any possible way, and now I could. I decided to give historical battles a go with a joystick and rudders. This is not with my full gear. I do have an X52 HOTAS, but for this tryout I tried my Logitech Extreme 3D and my T8 rudder pedals. So yeah, this is my first actual try at a full flight gear in historical battles. I have already tried flying with joystick before, a couple of battles, but I simply couldn't because I was trying to fly first with keys to manage the views, and I couldn't manage them. Then I tried the free thing called free track, and didn't work out very well. And finally I tried something called face track no IR, and also that was a total disaster. But with my trusty TrackIR working like it should, well, I decided to give it a go. For the first tryout, I decided to give it a go with cockpit views. And you might notice up in the left, I have no flight instructor. I'm flying in advanced combat mode, which means I can stall, I can spin, and this is a pretty big issue in the Focus 180 because it's a plane that tends to stall a lot. Also, I just plugged the joystick in and I didn't do anything with the settings of my control axes. So you'll notice I'm suffering a lot of wobbliness, particularly in the pitch axis. Later I changed some settings and that got fixed. But for the first battle, you'll see me wobbling up and down like mad. I'm using virtual cockpit in this battle. In later ones I used true cockpit view. As for the why, well, I know 99% of the people I'm going to meet are going to be using third view, so if I use cockpit I'm going to be really challenged to see around. So well, I set my first attack, bullfighter down there. Remember, this is my first try with a joystick to a combat flight simulator since 2 years ago, so I'm very rusty, very rusty. But it's so cool to finally have proper control of the plane, like I am flying it, not the instructor. So no fly-by-wire, is me at the controls, and that's cool. So well, I do a bounce on the bullfighter, I throw away, I see the other guy is about to kill him, so no real use in sticking to his 6. Now I change to cockpit view, because I actually feel better in cockpit view. In virtual cockpit I have the problem that I don't have visual cues to know exactly where I'm looking relative to the movement of the aircraft. So cockpit view in a way is better, but in another one is much worse, because I actually think the Focus 190 cockpit is totally wrong. I mean, you see that huge horizontal bar on top of the dashboard, and that's you can't see in front of you. One of the things that's very funny is that one of the most famous test pilots ever, Captain Eric Brown of the Royal Navy Air Corps, he tested basically all of the planes of World War II. Maybe not all, but hundreds of them. And in his comments about the Focus 190, you'll see now, I'm trying to track that guy, but it's impossible because I'm going to lose him under the dashboard. Still, I managed to get a pretty good blind shot, but I couldn't see him. Well, back to Eric Brown. He said that the visibility in the Focus 190 was one of the best he had ever enjoyed in any plane, even better than that of the Mustang or the Spitfire, and that particularly the forward view was impressive, except for the moments where he was the plane was landing or taking off or taxiing on the ground, because the engine wouldn't let the pilot see what was ahead of the plane. Well, the problem right now with the cockpit view of the Focus 190 is that fucking sorry for the cuss, but that bar in the middle prevents you to see the engine. So it's not that you can't see the ground because the engine is stopping you from seeing it. It's that you can't see the engine because that fucking bar is in front of you. So well, I guess it will receive some work and get fixed in the future, because right now it simply isn't as it should. But well, I hope you are enjoying this. I mean, I'm actually complaining again. I'm tracking that Spitfire and coming lower than him. I'm coming up from his low 5 and I'm much faster than him. So I'm going to get a tracking shot, but again, to track him, I can't really lead him because I will lose sight of him. So I open fire, I miss. Actually, I should have compensated with rudders, but I'm completely out of practice. So you're going to find out that in a lot of moments I miss shots that should have been easy had I used rudder. You'll also notice that the plane is rolling a lot, like out of control. That's the plane is stalling. Here I try to do a hammerhead with pretty disastrous effects because I tried to do it at very low speed. Still, well, more or less I come down the way I wanted, like pointing down. You'll notice in several moments that the plane buffets a lot and suddenly drops the left wing, and that's because the plane has stalled. And I think the threshold of the stall at high speeds in the Focus 190 is a little bit too high. I think it stalls a little bit too much. But anyway, well, it's all about taking care of getting the hold of it. I mean, I don't have the feel of the plane. And right now you can see how the plane wobbles up and down, and I can't get a proper aim on that hurricane. Basically what happens is that when I'm trying to keep my nose in a given attitude, as soon as I release the joystick, the plane would return to its former attitude, and that has something to do with the joystick settings. Basically by reducing the sensibility of the pitch axis, I solved it. I have another video in historical values I'll probably upload tomorrow, and you'll be able to see how much better it is, the stability in the pitch axis. So far I have gotten some hits on a Bullfighter and a Spitfire, but nothing too big. And the problem is that I'm having a lot of trouble, like getting used to the controls again, and getting used to the use of TrackIR, and basically right now I'm getting all the rust I have on me from 2 years of not flying with a joystick and trying to shake it off. But still, I'm keeping a pretty solid flying in what regards to situational awareness and tactical decisions. Thus, goes to prove that what I told you, being a good stick doesn't mean you're a good pilot. The important thing is to have good situational awareness. So, well, I'm winning some altitude, a Cebu fighter down there, which is being followed by the BF-109. I'm scanning around using virtual cockpit because the forward view on the cockpit is just horrible. And leveling off, and you see the wobbling again. Now in third person view, just scanning around. But I'm not going to use this view. I mean, with a joystick, it feels very artificial and out of place. With a joystick, you really want to fly in cockpit view, at least. If you can really keep track on where your head is and what you are looking at, virtual cockpit is the best. But for me, flying and fighting with a joystick means cockpit view is the best. Even with limited visibility, because it really feels much integrated into the plane. You feel the plane a lot more. So I'm just chasing those two guys from a high altitude. As for the why, well, I see the bullfighter down there, and well, the BF-109 has stopped giving chase. I'm running very low on fuel right now, by the way. I'm very conscious of that. But the thing is, we are very few in numbers. I think we have only 2 fighters and a bomber up. And I want the bomber to get the bomber all the time he can, in order to destroy all the ground targets without any opposition. And by keeping these guys busy in the airport, they are not going to be able to go for the bomber easily. So I double the bullfighter, and I see a Mustang and a Spitfire down there, which are really just taking off. But my objective is the bullfighter. So I dive for him. Open fire. Wobbling. You see the wobble. But well, some shots and get away. I got a critical. His gunner is dead, so that's good. I mean, no one is going to suffer from his 7.7mm lasers. And zooming away. And being very cautious about the fuel. It's down to 6 minutes and a half, more or less. And if I use web, it's going to be shorter than that, so I want to be conservative. Keep an eye back on the Spitfire and the Mustang. The Spitfire seems to be breaking chase. Well, he wasn't really chasing, but he was looking at me. So what I do is to do a low yo-yo to win speed and set another pass before getting back to base, because with 6 minutes worth of fuel, I really want to come back to base. Spitfire there, I zoom a bit, and see the wobble, up and down, up and down. It's very hard to keep track, up and down, up and down. Get a good snapshot, just a couple of hits, but I'm not going to follow. This is enough. I'm going to use my extra speed to level out and RTB. And basically that was it. So we'll skip it until the moment I'm landing. So here we are near to base. I want to ask for your understanding and forgiveness, because you'll see the audio is not as good as before. Well, one of the things that happened this last weekend and that prevented me to upload another videos until now is that my microphone broke down, basically. I don't know exactly why, but it stopped working. There was no way I could get it working again. And I'm actually recording this with my old microphone from the PS3, which of course is not the best. So maybe for 3-4 days this is going to be it. For the next weekend, I'll try to get a new microphone and return to proper quality. Sorry for that, but there's nothing I can do. It's one of those things that just happens, and right now I can't purchase a microphone for several reasons. And well, you're going to see me landing now, and I'm going to do in cockpit view, in actual cockpit, because I want to feel the plane. And with joystick, you can actually do so. So setting the proper angle, the proper approach, and the proper speed. And see, you'll see how terrible the forward view of this plane is. I mean, you are forced to basically land blind. I mean, it's not far from what happened in real life, but not to this point. So well, I line up, cut the throttle, bump, very bumpy landing, and well, just settle the nose down and brake. Not a bad landing, to be my first one since 2 years ago. So well, the battle was that. There's just one ground target remaining, and the bomber will get it, and we win. So I hope you enjoyed my first historical battles with joystick. There will be more, not all of them, because I have to get the rest of me, and well, and I'll also be flying a lot with mouse because I'm too lazy to be plugging my flight gear all day long. But well, as I told you, I hope you enjoyed. If you did so, well, give me a thumbs up. Any comments you want to make in this comment section below. And as always, if you haven't done so yet and want to see more of this video, subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later.